my name is Chris Peck. Sadly, our wonderful host, Ethan, is out of the podcast today. He is busy doing much more important things that I am not a part of. So I will be taking the ship a little bit for here. But again, I'm Chris Peck. I'm the executive producer of Austin Underground. I'm here with...
Parker Layman, executive producer of Life Support and stuff.
And Blake Bauserman, resident pizza-getting guy.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
All right, now before we get into our various topics we have for today, let's just start off really casual. What have you guys been watching this week?
Oh, man. I've been watching a lot of sitcoms. I'm big into TV right now. I was watching Maron on Netflix, Mark Maron's show.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's pretty entertaining. It's not a Louis ripoff, as many people claim. But I like it, yeah.
All right.
Then last night, I got together with some friends. I watched Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. If you like self-aware horror films like Scream, Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, things like that, it's a very good movie, very funny. It's also, the main guy looks a lot like Crazy Steve from Drake and Josh, and I can never get past that. Yeah, so it's an entertaining movie, though. Check it out. Pretty good.
What was it, Son of the Mask? Is that what you
No,
said?
Behind the Mask.
Behind the
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching various things. I'm watching a lot of Mindhunter right now, the new David Fincher show on Netflix.
Hey.
I'm 4 episodes in. The first episode wasn't the best, but now it's picking up and it's getting really good.
Okay.
It's slow, but it's methodical. And then I watched another Netflix movie called The Meyerowitz Stories. We'll have a review for that on our on this week's episode of Sneak Peek on Thursday night.
Ooh.
Make sure to check it out
Yeah,
there.
and what time is it Thursday night?
It is 9:30 to 10 o'clock. You can watch it live on watchtstv.com. There's our little plug for that. But basically, I watched that. Very good. Adam Sandler is truly, as people say, it's his best performance for sure.
Wait, I lost track of this. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. So Adam Sandler has a new movie on Netflix called The Meyerowitz Stories.
Oh.
It's not your standard Netflix like Adam Sandler movie. It's not like The Ridiculous Six where he's like getting together with his friends and making like a terrible movie. But this one's directed by Noah Bachman, who did. I'm not even gonna try to remember everything that he did, but he's a good director. Yeah, look it up.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, but it's very good. So it basically follows his family, the Meyerowitzes, and their father's like a very not really famous sculptor, but he's like he was like a professor and a sculptor, and he's kind of very judgmental of his kids and very like he's not a very great father. And it's about like Adam Sandler plays one of his sons and Ben Stiller plays another son, and then I forgot the actress that plays one of his daughters, but she's great in it as well.
Yeah,
Them all
Noah
kinda interact
Baumbach,
with-
the Francis Ha guy.
Yes,
Yeah.
Francis Ha. Yep, there we go.
He's excellent.
And it is a great movie. Like,
Okay.
I mean, like, it's seriously really, really good. And, like, again, Adam Sandler and Ben Stiller as well, their dynamic is really works really well together. That's great. And then last night I tried to catch up on some Ingmar Bergman films. Sorry. Yeah. So I watched The Seventh Seal, which was very good, and then Wild Strawberries, which I think is not as good as people say it is, but still a very strong movie nonetheless. But definitely check out Seventh Seal and Persona. I think are his two best.
I think that's like David Lynch's favorite movie.
Really?
Seal. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
Oh, I definitely can see that. If you watch the movie, you can kind of get.
Yeah, for
definitely-
sure. That's what I've heard.
It's not very David Lynchian, but you kind of see the influence for sure.
Is that the one where he plays chess with death? Is that
Yes,
okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
The whole story is this guy
boy.
just playing chess with death.
That sounds
And
great.
like they take like repeated breaks, and like there's always like weird side storylines that like don't really connect, but then they find a way to loop back in. It feels very disjointed, but like it's. But it's very much a modernist film in that sense.
See,
I have a question about the movie you were talking about. Like, it's Adam Sandler, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a good performance from him.
Yes.
Is it,
You can't get past
You
it.
can't imagine my Adam Sandler.
is it better than Hotel Transylvania? His performance as Dracula. Because I
Hotel
was incredibly
Transylvania.
impressed. He just completely transformative. It's almost like it was a real guy at a Halloween party doing it.
I will say those Hotel Transylvania movies have been some of the better Adam Sandler movies in the past couple of
I
years.
agree with you.
Yeah.
And they're not good.
They're not that great. They're fine nonetheless. They're good, I guess, for what they are in a sense, like for appealing to kids.
Basically.
But for any sort of depth, there's not really a lot there.
Blended is like the Hawaii, just go with it, in Africa. Like,
Yeah.
it's literally
Oh,
this.
yes.
He's just taking
no,
vacations.
I heard a note about this.
Yeah.
They're actually, it was some movie that he was, I think it was Punk's Drunk Love. So what Adam Sandler learned from that movie, from the screenwriter, they were saying something like about how if you write a scene where the characters go to Hawaii, you can go to Hawaii. That's what Adam Sandler took from that. He's like, whenever he wants to go on vacation, he just writes a movie about Adam Sandler going to a weird place.
And
He was talking about Paul Thomas Anderson's creative process, and then he landed with that.
Yeah.
That's
like,
insane.
that's all he got out of Punch Drunk Love was
That's
the
it,
idea of,
yeah.
you know what, let's go on vacations and make movies. And that's what literally he does. I mean, like, with something like Grown Ups, when they go to like looking at he wasn't in the movie, but he was I think a producer of it. For Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, they went to Las Vegas and out there. Blended is obviously the most obvious example.
Yeah, for Little
Blended.
Nicky, they went to hell.
Yeah, well, yeah.
They actually
Well, that's
filmed
where we go in every single one of his movies.
They filmed on location in hell.
Yeah, Little Nicky's a very ironically subtle movie about the audience experience of watching an Adam Sandler movie. But I will say, the Meyerowitz stories, it's very different. It's very more dramatic. He's a lot more toned down. You kind of get to see him almost like in Punch Drunk Love, where he kind of rages sometimes.
That's good.
But there's a really interesting technique where when he starts like getting super angry and like has like a rampage, they just like cut like in the middle of him rampaging.
Yeah.
And it seemed like it would be very jarring, and it is. But it works very well overall. It doesn't feel like you're getting taken out of the movie. It's just really harsh cuts, like really in the middle of lines. They'll cut. But again, definitely check out the Meyerowitz stories. Definitely getting a recommendation from me. But yeah, that's enough from us on what we've been watching. So, and Adam Sandler
like
movies.
3 words. Marin.
But all right, so let's get into our first topic today.
Sure.
This year's been a great year for action films, and why don't you take it away from
All right,
here?
yeah, sure. Like you said, it's been a great year for action films. We've had films like Baby Driver, Atomic Blonde, Spider-Man, a whole bunch of other ones. So I want to ask you guys, and then I'll give my opinion at the end. What was your pick for the best action scene of the year? It doesn't have to be a fight scene. It could be a car chase. It could be anything that involves action of some kind.
All right, let's start with over here more.
All right, yeah, I'll kick it off.
3 seconds of preparation.
That's okay. I've got one ready. Okay, so Atomic Blonde, the staircase scene. You know, I believe it's like all.
Man,
Yeah.
oh
Take yours?
yes, you did take
Such
a
a
great
great
joke.
That's fine.
Man.
I'm fine with that because I got the good one.
Yeah.
But it's like one shot going down the staircase. She's like, it's so brutal because the
I
sound
know.
design is so
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Like you hear the crunches of the bone and stuff, and there's stiletto going through people's throats. That probably doesn't happen, but
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. And then yeah, they're just kicking the crap out of these dudes all the way down the
Yes.
staircase.
Yeah.
Atomic Blonde was really good. I was surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a fun
I
movie.
thought.
I think it did a good job of having like a strong female, lead.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if it were a male, it would have been the same movie, down to the love interests.
Basically, yeah.
So-
Literally, you're right.
Hey,
down to
yeah.
the love interest.
Everybody
yeah.
loves Sophia Butera. It's all
That
good.
said,
Yeah.
I think that's really progressive
Yeah.
to cast her in a man's role.
Yeah.
Well, Charlize Theron's been good with that because she did that in Mad Max as well. Like it was
Yeah,
really her
exactly.
movie. Like
Yeah.
Max was there, but it was her movie.
Oh,
I
for
thought
sure.
That was really cool.
Yeah, her character is vastly more interesting than Mad Max in that movie. And just to go off with the staircase scene, I mean, like, because the build-up to that scene makes that scene work so well. Because, like, up to then, every single action scene, this is one of my negatives with that movie, is the overuse of music. Where I almost feel like the soundtrack was just almost a character of itself. It wasn't like oh, wow, a new song. It felt like very interesting. It just
Yeah.
was too much. And
They're
then
like,
for
hey,
this,
go buy this on iTunes.
Yeah,
Ain't
and
these songs cool?
And then for like 15 minutes in this movie, it's just like this one cut, like one take action scene with this stairwell, and there's a car chase at the end of it.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's just that sound design, just all the punching and the grunts and like them getting tired, but no music at all. And just the way they pull that back elevates that scene so much because such a contrast to the rest of the movie.
Definitely.
Yeah, that scene alone elevated that movie from to me a 5 out of 10, like just an average movie, to like a 7 out of 10.
The quick question to you guys: did the last 10 minutes of that movie make any sense to you
Yes.
guys at all?
Yes,
Like,
it made total
okay.
sense. I got it.
I feel like
Okay,
I got what happened.
I
that
got what
she's-
happened too, but I was like, to me, I kind of get this funny theory.
Yeah.
I do this occasionally with movies. Like, I highly doubt this is true, but as if they're watching this movie in post and they're like, man, she keeps on breaking from her British accent to an
Yeah.
American accent. So let's just make her an American after all, so it makes sense.
Which is
canon.
weird.
It's
It's weird
canon.
though because she's from South Africa.
I know.
Yeah,
I
like,
know.
it's really-
that is good.
Yeah, but
It's funny.
I understand.
No,
like,
I get that she's
yeah.
one way, then the other way, and this, that, and the other, but like it could have not happened, and it would have been the same movie.
Oh,
almost.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's
think
like,
that, like-
it's a cool little thing in the end, but
Yeah.
I feel like it just left me a little
Like the
frazzled.
twist works
Like
in
was
the
she
sense
even a
where, like-
lesbian?
Yeah.
That's the question.
But the end,
Bisexual, I think.
I think bisexual is probably the better way to go. But I think it works with the movie in the sense where it doesn't the movie doesn't make no sense at all.
Yeah.
Like the fact that she can be American at the end doesn't completely contradict her character or something like that. But it does kind of come out of left field in a sense, which you could argue is a good thing on the director's oh, you didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
Because I definitely did not. When they started talking, I was like, wait a second, she's been American the whole time.
Jeez.
But spoiler alert for Atomic Blonde. Wow, we really should have given that warning earlier.
The
but,
spoilers aren't the reason people should watch the movie.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
the plot, the plot's one of the weaknesses actually probably of the film. It's not bad. It's just fine. It's not anything super layered, but the action sequences of Atomic Blonde are since you already took mine,
Yeah.
another one I'm gonna name is just the ending of John Wick 2.
Okay, fair enough.
took
Just-
mine. Darn it.
Isn't that the same director, or it's like
No,
they
so-
worked together on
yeah.
John Wick
They
1?
co-directed John Wick 1, then one of them
Okay.
went to do John Wick 2, and one went to Atomic Blonde.
Atomic Blonde guy's doing Deadpool now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and literally, I think they just announced like yesterday or something like that that they've wrapped Deadpool 2.
Oh man, that's so exciting.
Yeah, so I mean that's coming out I think summer next year. I think it's like May or June or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong about that, but I think it's around that time next year. So
Cool.
But yeah, so and hey, if Atomic Blonde doesn't speak anything, he's definitely gonna get the action right, and I'm
Yeah.
looking forward because like Deadpool was a great movie, but the action was definitely not the centerpiece of that movie, and nor should it be the centerpiece of the sequel. I think the
Yeah.
sequel still should rely on that dialogue and that humor and everything, but at least we can expect probably at least one really good action scene.
Oh, absolutely. That
Yeah.
director, Tim Hill, the
Yeah.
problem was he had never made anything really before.
Yeah, well, I
he
think
was
it's
like
his
a
first movie.
storyboard for
Tim
Deadpool.
Yeah.
Tim Miller.
Tim Miller, yeah.
Oh, Tim Miller, yeah, Tim Hill. But
Yeah.
he like made the opening sequence of Thor 2, and that was like it.
Oh, he did? Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Okay.
So this guy's seasoned action-wise and
Yeah.
like seasoned, in
well,
all
because like
aspects of directing.
for example, like
David Leitch, right?
I think that's it. Yeah,
David
I don't know how
Lynch.
to pronounce it. It's not Lynch. But
It's not Lynch.
man, that would be an interesting movie.
Ooh, boy, yes it would.
man.
Eraserhead, the action version.
They apparently
Yeah.
considered him for Star Wars, David Lynch.
Did they?
Crazy.
That
Holy crap.
was, to me, that's a prime example of them like, man, this director's like really famous. People like his movies.
Yeah.
Let's put him on like this big action movie. Like David Lynch is not for Star Wars,
Yeah.
man.
He would connect it to his universe. Like you'd see Darth Vader dead in the Black Lodge, and you got the,
Oh yeah, man,
you
it
got
would
the
be.
little guy dancing.
Dude,
Just,
anyway,
just
though-
imagine like Twin Peaks with Star Wars. Like it would just be
Yeah.
all over the place. It'd be
Oh, my
madness.
goodness.
Anyway, though, I want to hear your thoughts on John Wick because you just took my answer.
Yeah, yeah. So like that ending scene with like all the mirrors, and it's just like, first of all, there's a little. I wouldn't say it's like a full action sequence really for like this answer, but the one in the car also with the not the car, but one with the pencil. That one's also definitely a highlight of that movie, but with the overall sequence, maybe not as much. But definitely the ending of that movie is just a great climax, and I'm one of the rare people that thinks the sequel is better than the first
Agreed.
one. Even though I think his character motivation is not as strong as the first one, but nothing can beat the first one killing off the dog, making
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
But the sequel, I think, action-wise and how it ends as well,
Yeah.
really makes that one, I think, come together as a whole a little better.
Well, I was going to say, to add to that, too, I think what the second one did so well is it built on the world of the first one. So, like, the
Yes.
whole establishment of that criminal underworld was such a unique concept, and I thought like, they really built upon that very well, so I really enjoyed that. And also the fact, too, that I think what they did very well is they took the invincible protagonist that you've had for years in, like, Steven Seagal movies and
Yeah.
other bad action movies, and they made it fun and they made it believable, which I thought was really cool. That,
Yeah.
like, watching this, I totally bought that Keanu Reeves could do all of that. And, I mean,
Yeah.
like, if you watch the videos, like, of him training, he really can. Like, he can actually shoot that
Yes,
well.
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, my favorite scene in the movie. Spoiler alert for John Wick 2. If you haven't seen it, go do so.
I haven't seen it.
Okay. Basically.
Yeah, it came out earlier this year.
Basically, like at the end, like he's got a gun with 7 bullets, and like he walks out, and
Oh,
there's
yeah.
like 7 people there, and he draws, and in 1 second takes down all of them, and it's amazing.
It
Just,
is,
like,
it is a great
Just like
moment.
the choreography of it is so well done, and also I thought that Common did a good job in that movie. That like having
Yes.
yeah,
Common's in that
like,
movie too, and he's
Who did he play? Who did he play?
He was like a rival. He was like
He's
a
like a-
bodyguard who was
another
like, yeah.
assassin, I
Yeah,
think,
he was
right?
a good John Wick essentially.
That's
Basically,
cool.
yeah.
Common's the best.
And I'm looking forward because it looks like they're gonna keep his character for the sequel as well. And we're not gonna go too very much into what the sequel's gonna be about, but
Yeah.
how all I'll say is this: for you and other people who have not seen John Wick 2, how it ends makes me extremely excited.
Yeah.
For what the sequel's gonna be.
Keanu is coming back.
Yeah.
Man.
Yes,
It's so
yeah.
exciting because he's got John Wick. Not only that, he directed this movie called Man of Tai Chi. It was
I've
actually
heard about
really,
this.
It was really
Yeah.
cool. I watched it.
Well, dude, you got to get ready for Triple Threat. Have you heard of it?
Triple. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
What's
it's got
like the
it's
rundown?
it's like 3 of the biggest martial arts actors. You got Tiger Chan, you got Tony Jaa, and you got the guy from the Raid, Iko Uwais or something like
Oh,
that.
okay,
Iko.
okay.
It's like
Iko's
all 3 of them at
the
once
shit,
in a
man.
movie. It's gonna be great.
That's gonna be that's especially from the Raid.
Yeah, the Raid 2 is like one of my favorite action movies ever
Yeah.
made.
Really? Okay.
Such a
Yes.
great movie.
It's have you seen it?
No.
Sweet
I
Jesus.
I know.
Again,
It's like they took. It's like
on
the
my
Raid
list
is
forever now.
the Raid is Batman Begins. Raid 2 is Dark Knight.
I remember
That's
Raid
how I
2 was
view
in
it.
my theater when I was working at a movie theater. I had no idea what it was. And these people are buying tickets for it. I'm like, what is this movie? And they're like, oh, it's some action movie. I'm like, okay. I walk in there like halfway in. I only saw like a couple minutes. I was like, just walking in, walking out.
Yeah.
My goodness, man. The action is unbelievable.
The Raid is so good that we made an American comic book knockoff of it with
Yeah.
Dread and like just tried to play it off like
Yeah.
it never happened.
Well, then also, but I think again they expanded the lore very well. Like they actually put a decent story in the second one, where the first one had like no story whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what it was, apparently the guy he wanted to make the Raid 2 first, but
Yeah.
he didn't
Oh,
have the
really, the
funding
story?
for it.
Okay.
Yeah, he
It was
didn't have
called
the funding
Barrendal.
Yes. He
That
didn't have
was-
the funding for it, so he just made the first raid as kind of a proof of concept, because I think
Yeah.
he made it for like $4 or $5 million. It's like, okay, I can make good action scenes. Give me money now so I can make my actual movie. And
Yeah.
then he did
Yeah.
that.
One
That
night
dude's
I'm
a-
going to do a double feature of both of them.
He's a Swedish guy living in Indonesia making movies.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and I think he did all the choreography or most of the choreography.
Yeah.
too.
No, actually, I disagree. I think the choreography was Iko Uwais and the really small guy, Yayan Rui.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
fair. Oh, yeah, it was them. Yeah.
Yeah,
the,
Mad
the,
Dog,
the,
yeah.
the
And
badass
apparently
Yoda
they,
dude.
I remember they came
Yeah.
in. I think they did the choreography for
Star Wars.
The Force
They
Awakens.
did. That's
they
why
were-
I saw
I will
Iko.
say-
I saw Iko show up in
Yeah,
Force
they're in
Awakens.
it and they do nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know,
I
but
will
it's
say
so
this:
cool.
what a waste. Because I've not seen the movies, but I know about like how good their action
Yeah.
is and everything.
It didn't stand out to me, the choreography, so that is kind of a waste.
Well, first of all, the choreography doesn't really stand in that movie, and like it
It's
shouldn't
clumsy
really,
on
like
purpose.
because like
Yeah.
yeah, because it shouldn't be like these people are not. A lot of the like, main characters are not like excellent fighters, right? But it also, especially when the raid guys show up in that movie, in that one like hallway sequence, which was
Yeah.
like that one sequence with like those monsters, is probably one of the worst parts of that movie. I didn't think like the CGI especially.
I
was,
agree
think,
with
was
you.
not
I
that
agree. I was
great.
just kind of like, okay, they need an excuse to get
Yeah,
out of this
yeah, but like
swashbuckling.
what a waste of like the raid guys.
Yeah,
like
for real.
they just show up like, hey, we're here.
He should have
and they
been a
die.
he should have had a lightsaber in
It'd
his
be
hand.
like
He should
yes.
have.
It'd be like in Rogue One if Donnie Yen didn't beat up anybody. It would have been the exact same thing. If Chirrut had
Yeah.
not gotten in a fight, it just wouldn't have
But
been
I
the
thought
same,
his
yeah.
character was kind of okay. Rogue One, I'm in the minority because I think that squad was kind of like rushed and not too well developed. Like,
See,
I
the
think,
problem with Rogue One, you're right, is the development of it. The third
Yeah.
act of Rogue
great.
One is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost outweighs like anything that's wrong with like,
it
the
ties
first
it
two
together
acts.
well, and I
Yeah.
think that's because it was written by a different guy.
And
Or,
I
like-
think it was directed by somebody else as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was directed by the cinematographer because Gareth Edwards. had to
Yeah,
do
because
other crap.
if you don't know what happened with Rogue One, this is a massive tangent. But this is important. I think people to know when you look at the Star Wars universe. And Star Wars is a very similar thing with Marvel. The directors in Marvel movies are often not really the directors as you would say to somebody like a Scorsese or something like that, where they're really like the spearhead of this movie. It's Kevin Feige, really.
It's
The
part of
directors.
the problem.
Yeah, the director is really the guy working on like the comedy a lot. I think a lot of times in the movies. Hence why they got for the guy for Thor Ragnarok, the guy got like a comedic director, helping like bring the life of it. But the action especially are not directed by these directors, right? For prime example, Captain America: Civil War. The action was directed by the guys from John Wick.
Yeah.
They came in and they directed the airport sequence and everything.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
They
crazy.
did great with it.
I was about to.
They did a great job. Yeah.
I was gonna mention a lot of this. Yeah, like this stuff.
Yeah, but if you look at now going to Star Wars, it's Kathleen Kennedy is the one like behind those movies. And if you don't play ball with Kathleen Kennedy, then that's not gonna happen. You're not gonna work in these movies.
She's done that a couple times.
Yes, and yeah, that's what I'm getting to. So
Yeah.
if you look at like what happened with Han Solo, 3 weeks left of shooting, and they fired the directors because they're not playing ball. Apparently they were going to do a similar thing with what they did with Rogue One, because what they did with Rogue One they're seeing some cuts of the movie and they're seeing how it's getting put together, and they weren't really satisfied with what was going on with Gareth Edwards'
Yeah.
cut of the movie. He was I think the problem was they got this young filmmaker and they're like, do something experimental since this isn't like an episode movie.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you know what? Maybe we don't want it to be that experimental.
Yeah, I don't think he's good enough for experimental.
I
think
would
he's
agree as
alright.
well.
Yeah.
His first movie, Monsters.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen
That was
that. That
good,
movie's
yes.
more experimental, but Godzilla, like, not at all. Godzilla's a pretty, like,
Well, Godzilla
classic
kind of did the same thing.
Wait,
in Monsters, doesn't he really not show the monsters? So he did kind of.
It
the same
doesn't,
thing
but
with
like, but
Godzilla?
Monsters, it works more than Godzilla, because Monsters, like, it's not about the
It's not the
monsters.
mon-
It's about the
yeah.
characters. And I know Godzilla's supposed to be about the same thing, but the characters are some of, like, the weakest parts of
Yeah,
Godzilla.
they are. That's part of the problem.
You make
Yeah.
a Godzilla movie, and you don't see Godzilla, which I understand, like the point of like the 1954 Godzilla. that
Yeah.
he was, like, but-
Jaws
but, like,
came out in 1975, dude. Like
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I went in that movie wanting to see a big lizard hit things, and I only got that for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, and hey, when you do get it, man, the
then
ending
it's
of
good, yeah.
Godzilla is amazing. Oh, exactly, yeah.
That
The ending of
shit was
Godzilla is
amazing.
fantastic.
Yeah.
But apparently what happened with Rogue One is that but Gareth Edwards played ball. He wasn't like the Coen, not the Coen brothers, goodness gracious. Phil
Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
They're
who were-
fantastic.
Yeah,
man.
they're
I'm
great.
on their side.
But they were like, we want to make this our movie, right? Oh. And like Kathleen Kennedy was, nope, you're gonna make this our movie. And you're not gonna make it. Apparently they're making it very, very too much like a comedy, doing a lot of improvisation on set and things.
Oh, that didn't work for Ghostbusters, man.
Yeah,
You can't
it's-
make a blockbuster like that.
Yeah, especially for Han Solo, I kind of see from them like that's like Han Solo's not that type of movie. But
No.
But then again, I've not seen their cut. For all I know, their cut would be like a masterpiece. You know?
To be honest, I don't know what kind of movie a Han Solo movie should be.
I kind of agree.
Blade
it
Runner.
definitely shouldn't. Yeah,
Kinda
Blade
like
Runner.
something between Blade Runner and Indiana Jones, I'm thinking.
I
Where
think
there's,
more.
like,
I think more on that
swashbuckling,
Indiana
but, like,
Jones
he's
because Blade Runner might
uncovering-
just be too little too dark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
think
like in the investigative way.
Yeah. I can see that for sure. But apparently then with Rogue One, the similar thing was happening. But Gareth Edwards was like, you can play ball, and he didn't shoot the reshoots. The reshoots were all directed by the cinematographer.
Yeah.
Who I don't remember his name. And he like basically redirected like he's the third act of that movie. Apparently, again, they did keep the part with Gareth Edwards killing off all the characters at the end.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. But they kind of almost had to. I mean.
Yeah, where
like,
the hell are those
yeah,
guys?
exactly. Like these guys would be like lead generals.
George
after this
Lucas is going to
mission.
digitally insert what's her name into
Yeah.
episode 4.
She just shows up.
The special editions.
Felicity Jones, that's her name.
Felicity
Felicity
Jones,
Jones,
yeah.
she shoots first. She just walks up in the bar and shoots Greedo. And then walks out.
Jesus.
Yeah, the camera's panning in the bar. You just see her over there or something like that. Oh, that'd be great. Okay, that was a lot talking about the action sequence. Massive tangents there.
Yeah.
But
We didn't even get to Blake's.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. He stole mine.
Oh,
Well, I was
yeah,
gonna-
yeah.
Other than that, I was gonna say also I think the beach scene in Wonder Woman is really good because you have
Yes.
like first it's a
Wonder
great
Woman has
battle
great
scene.
action.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like a great battle scene. I think it's also cool. You get a lot of actresses out there actually doing their own stuff.
Yeah.
Plus you have like Robin Wright who's like 50 and still kills it. Like she
Yeah.
does a great job. Like it's just a cool scene because not only do you have a great action set piece, but you also do have just like the representation of strong female characters. I think Wonder Woman was great for that in general. But yeah, just that one is great. And then, like I said, in terms of pure choreography, I got to go with John Wick 2.
Yeah.
Both great ones, but for different reasons. Yeah.
And I've been going back to Wonder Woman. One of the strongest parts of Wonder Woman is those action sequences.
Yeah.
Especially like I think it's the first time they play the theme.
Yes,
Is when
during
like
the
when she,
warehouse fight, yes,
Yeah, when she
yeah.
goes in that warehouse, that was awesome and very
Yeah.
gratifying because they really. One of my problems with that movie is how long it takes for the movie to really
when
get started.
the fight scenes happen, they're great.
But on the other hand, it's so rewarding when it does start because of that wait. So I'm not going to get super angry about that. I still hold my negative saying it takes too long to get there. But then again, when it does arrive, man,
Yeah.
the action sequences, especially again that warehouse sequence, is
When she like
a
punts the
blast.
guy through the window. that was
Exactly. Yeah.
great.
And like
I
they
think,
just like throw a tank at one point in that movie.
Yes.
So
I'll say that Wonder Woman's probably the best DC non-Dark Knight DC movie that they've made so
Agreed.
far, but it's got one of the worst third acts of the year.
yes,
Yeah,
goodness gracious.
Jesus.
My favorite scene in that movie is the scene when Chris Pine tells her like maybe Ares doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Maybe like these people are just bad human beings because
That
they're bad
shit
humans.
would have been amazing if they followed
Yes.
through on it.
I was like, when that happened, I was like, wow. Like this movie, like I can't believe this movie went there.
Yeah.
And
But
then it went
but
back.
then
he
but then-
exists!
exactly. But
And he's
then
David Thewlis in like a terrible armor suit.
Spoilers.
yeah, and then like when Ares does show up, spoiler alert, you're like, so that scene basically means nothing.
Yeah.
That scene makes like the greatest scene in the movie irrelevant. So I'm like, and also he's just terrible.
Yeah,
Like, Ares
not
is
only
just
that,
horrible.
but
Like-
when they kill him off, you see the Germans and Americans like hugging it out.
Oh,
How
yes.
offensive is that?
like what?
World War II is the highest amount of casualties.
World War I, man.
I meant World War
Yes,
I.
it is World
I
War,
was
yeah.
thinking World War I because it does. It has the highest amount of casualties in like any war in human history.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I thought that, yeah, you're right. A horrible ending to that movie. But then again, I guess I'm not the audience for that movie either, so I
Yeah.
can't get too angry at it.
Who's the audience?
Women, I guess.
I think we are the audience.
I think we are the audience for some extent. But going off what you said about the best DC movie, I might be in the minority on this. I probably am. I actually think Man of Steel is better. I'm actually a big Man of Steel
I'm
fan.
a Man of Steel
I have a
apologist,
lot
for
of
sure.
problems with Man of Steel,
Yeah.
especially like how they deal with some of the action and things.
Okay.
But like, there's a scene in Man of Steel. It's one of my favorite scenes in all superhero movies, including like the Nolan ones as well. And that's the scene when he's like a kid and he's like, he asks his father like, should I not have saved those kids from that bus? And like then a natural writer would say like his father would say, oh, of course you should have saved
Well,
them.
yeah,
but,
that was a nice
but
little
like,
thing.
but then like his father's like, maybe not. And just like the boldness of making it where like even that's like an ethical question of whether or not you should save yourself if it does reveal your superpowers. I thought
Yeah,
it was
it
very
is good. And the
it
fact that
layered
he
to
kills, the fact that he, well, we're going into spoilers all of
It came out like
We
4
do-
years ago.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
we're
Man
good.
of
the fact
Steel's
that he
pretty
kills
old,
Zod,
yeah.
that kind of supports the fact that he kills Zod, and I think it was interesting. I think
Yeah.
that's like Nolan was an executive producer on that. I
Yeah,
think
he
that was
was.
his one idea. He was like, okay,
I can see
have
Nolan
him say
doing
the
that.
bus thing, and then have him kill Zod.
Yeah,
You
and
know, the
like
rest was
having
Zack
him
Snyder.
kill one time
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
makes it more like I'm never gonna do that again, or like that like. Because again, like the whole movie's him learning to be Superman. He's not like it yet. I guess he is now, even though I guess he's dead. But
Can we talk
getting
about
back,
the
yeah.
DC cinematic universe?
Yes, I know you have something you're very wound up about. I want to hear
I
about it.
okay.
Yeah.
Is that cool
okay.
with you?
yeah, let's move on to our
I was
topic.
excited from the very beginning of when they announced that Ben Affleck was going to play Batman. I was like, okay, the performance is gonna suck because that's a given. Like he was good in Argo in The Town, but he barely did anything in Argo.
Yeah. Oh yeah. His range is not like great.
He's a great director though.
Yes.
And
that's what I was excited about.
He said he was going to direct the Batman movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, imagine Batman, but it's The Town. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So, but now it's not him. It's fucking Matt Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not against Matt Reeves. I think like his
I don't
two
think
ape movies
he's
are really good.
creative enough. That's
Okay.
what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Because like Planet of the Apes, it's cool, but he literally treated it like this is a country, they're gonna go to war, and then we have a couple like I'm not sure he wrote that stuff. I don't think he wrote.
No,
the
he
Apes
not
movies.
write.
And I'm not saying he's
actually,
writing
I'm not.
Batman
I
either.
don't quote me on that. I don't think he wrote either of the Apes movies, but that he directed. But I will say, like to me, one of the best like blockbusters of this year is, I guess it didn't do too well at the box office because of a blockbuster, but that type of movie was to me War for the Planet of the Apes.
They sold a lot
I think
of blockbusters.
it's all gonna turn on Justice League, man. Justice League
If Justice League is not good,
because,
then
listen,
I will say the DC Cinematic Universe is not a good universe.
Looking at it from the outside, a Joss Whedon, Zack Snyder movie sounds like a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. The problem
They
is
balance each other out.
all the production issues and
Yeah.
like whether Joss's stuff
And
is
can
gonna
they piece it
mesh.
together?
Yeah, exactly.
Can the reshoots mesh with what was already there?
Because let's not forget, this movie's been in production hell for like years and years and years. Like the guy who wrote Gangster Squad wrote the initial draft.
yeah,
that they were
yeah.
gonna use.
What are we, some kind of gangster squad?
Yeah, exactly. But now it's Chris Terrio, who only in the past, and Joss Whedon. But only in the past he's written Argo, which is okay. Yeah, he wrote Argo.
Yeah.
It's more of a thriller. It's not necessarily the substance of it. It's how it was presented that made it so great. And then Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice.
I'm not gonna blame all that on just like the writing though. But I will say,
I'll blame a lot.
Oh no, I think part of it's the writing. But like I know like this, the change of film makes from a script to its final product. I know it's huge. So for all we know, his script was amazing because there are some great ideas in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah,
it's just the execution and how they deal with some of the characters.
Yes.
And you're right, some of the dialogue.
But then
like,
how do you explain?
Ben Affleck's dialogue is great.
Yes.
Superman's dialogue is horrendous.
Yeah, in that movie.
like,
yeah,
he just shows like, "Stop it, Batman! I'm gonna make you bleed." Like,
he might as well not be there, pretty much. It's like the thing is, like, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, but I think I kind of get
how do you
saying,
explain Watchmen? If it's not the
Yeah.
script's fault, how do you explain how amazing Watchmen is?
Yeah.
I freaking love Watchmen.
I love Watchmen as well. I actually have a friend who really hates that movie.
Yeah.
And I know a couple people that hate that movie. I think it's really good. I think it's one of the best superhero movies you've ever gotten.
You know, Zack Snyder might just be tired of making these huge budget movies.
I think he needs to take a break. I definitely have to.
Well, he had that horrible
family
tragedy.
trouble,
Yes. So if you're not aware, even though he's technically still the only list credited director, which I kind of disagree with.
We don't need to air out his laundry on it, but there are issues.
I kind of think just how much work I've heard that Joss Whedon did to that movie, with how extensive the reshoots are.
Yeah, they got to share the credit.
I don't really know how the credit system works, how much qualifies a credit, but it sounds like he deserves one. He is getting a writing credit, I believe.
Listen, if it says directed by Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon, nerds will cream their pants across the country.
Yes.
So I hope they do that.
Yeah.
I hope they do that.
Well, I can gladly say your hope is not true because they did announce a couple days ago that it is the only credited director is going to be Zack Snyder. So.
Well, I guess Zack Snyder's more of a brand than an actual person at this point.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to expand it to the whole universe. Like Aquaman is directed by James Wan.
And I
it looks
think
like 303.
From my perspective, it kind of sounds like when he did step off the project after the tragedy with his. If you don't know, Zack Snyder's daughter back in March committed suicide. So him and his wife, who's a producer on the movie, left the movie in May. To be with their deal with that basically for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
they're like,
nobody's
let's just get the Avengers
nobody's
guy.
blaming him for that. So like, and then is Joss Whedon a very bold choice in their director? No.
It's
but
they
he's the
wanted
choice I
safety.
would have made.
They wanted safety. They didn't want a bold choice.
Yes, if you're for example, same with Han Solo, is getting Ron Howard a bold choice? Not at all. But like if
No.
you're 3 weeks of the shooting, you gotta reshoot this almost basically the entire movie almost. What it sounds like. You do not go with the bold choice. You go with the safe guy who's going to turn in a decent movie, right?
Exactly.
So
the boldest big studio decision that's been made yet is letting Rian Johnson write and direct the next Star Wars, and I'm excited for it.
oh, well, he's not directing
Crazy.
it.
What?
Rian Johnson. Well, you mean like
The Last Jedi.
Last Jedi. Okay, I thought you meant like
No.
When he's by next Star Wars, I started thinking that you meant like episode 9.
Oh yeah, that one's not. Last Jedi isn't out, my friend.
Yes.
The trailer told you everything about it, but it's not out yet.
Yes, yeah, I know. It's when, for some reason, when I think next Star Wars.
I haven't seen the trailer, so we're not gonna get.
Okay, yeah, we won't talk about the Star Wars trailer. I will say this.
Yeah.
It is a great trailer.
I'm sure it is.
It's very well put together.
I'm not watching it.
Yeah. No, I can see why you don't watch it. It definitely hints at things that definitely could be.
If it comes on in the theater, I will leave the theater.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hope you stick to it, man, because I'll be interested to see what you think of the movie.
Well, look what we have. Roll the clip now.
I'm a big Rian Johnson fan, man. I'm a Looper apologist, to be honest.
I don't think Looper needs an apology. I think Looper's just objectively great movie.
Looper kind of needs an apology, but it's great. I'll say that.
Brick is like a neo-noir. He did takes place in a high school.
Brick's very good.
What I love about Brick is that it's just
Brick
like
Tamlin.
Yeah.
Brick is just like a very dark film about like drug gangs and stuff.
Yeah.
But it all is about it's like a high school movie as well. It's like a teen drama.
It's kind of got like an anime sensibility to it.
It does kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's a great movie. Not enough people have seen Brick, and there's one other movie he directed that I have not seen that I don't remember the name of.
The Brothers Bloom. I haven't seen it either.
I think it's that, yeah. So I'll probably check that out. Maybe that one's terrible. So.
It could be. It's got Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I love Adrian Brody. Stop working with Roman Polanski, though, dude.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Does Roman Polanski even have a new movie coming out pretty soon or something?
I hope.
I haven't been keeping up with him.
Yeah, I tried to keep on my Roman Polanski news that much as well. But yeah, so that's all pretty much we have for time for today. It's been a great podcast. Is there any final thoughts you guys want to say about anything before we wrap up?
Oh, I totally didn't even talk about it.
Oh, it's okay. We'll bring it back next week. It's fine.
Yeah, well, the problem was that I think we just got too much caught in the tangents.
Yeah, we got on a long action tangent there for quite a while.
Damn,
but we'll definitely, hopefully, get to his topic next week. Yeah. So that's kind of a cliffhanger there.
We're giving you a sneak peek about what's coming on.
So, again, make sure you definitely watch Sneak Peek on Thursday night at 9:30 to 10 o'clock on WatchTSTV.com. Don't go to TSTV.com. I guess unless you're into that, I guess.
No, don't go to it anyway. I think it's poorly designed.
It is not a well-designed website.
I'm kidding.
But definitely go to Watch TSV to check out Sneak Peek then. We have different reviews and everything planned for this week's episode. And then we'll be back next week for another podcast. So we'll see you next time.
See you guys later.
See ya.